What's up, guys? So I wanted to make a video. I just had the idea like 20 seconds ago. Um, and first of all, before I start, I just want to say I know I look super tired, and it's because I had to only sleep 2 or 3, maybe 4 hours tops. No, three probably, because I finally took care of everything to get my to take my driving test. It's been months that I've been putting this off. You know that thing that you just like keep putting off, and then you finally fucking do it. It feels good. Anyways, I'm tired. I look tired, but I feel good. Um, so what I want to talk about today is I want to talk about how important it is for us to understand the shadow aspects of our own chart. And I thought it would be interesting for me. Here's some cat. They found a bug, so they're all squatting up. Esme, Mika, Mika, where's the bug? Okay, she said she can't find it. FedEx is here. But anyways, this is not a cat video. Um, Basically, I want to use my self as an example because it's an exercise we can all go through. So let's start with the fact that sun, our big three: sun, rising, and moon, and then we can also talk about Mercury and Venus and Mars and Jupiter also. But let's just start with the personal planets because those rule the more conscious parts of our personalities, right? They're more psychological than the outer planets, which are less like that. And I'm not gonna get into what they are because that'd be an entire video. But anyways, so for me, and I don't this and let's start off with the Leo rising. I have to watch out for the classic tendency to be too Leo, especially with the fact that I have Regulus, the brightest star, royal star, and Leo rising. I have to, I've gotten a lot better, but humility is always something, not like on an inner level, like I'm humble on like an inner level, but like externally. So just always like trying to like think of the highest energy of Leo, which to me is, okay, you're a great leader, whatever. You have some, creativity, whatever it is, but being able to bring other people up. That's kind of how I see it, right? Like that getting away from the kind of the highest to lowest of the Leo rising. And also just, watching out for kind of, and obviously it's not really so much of a part of me anymore as it used to be, but like watching out for just like needing to be the center stage. Of course, Leo rising Regulus, there's a destiny of some sort of something like that. I obviously have this account. It's not gonna get any smaller. That's the Leo that makes me want to come out and create this video. That's the Leo. That's a good Leo, right? So then next with the sun, I can definitely admit, and this is what kind of made me want to make this video, that as a Pisces sun, right, with my Mercury Cazimi, means that it's so close, like between, it's 0.07 or 0.06, close to my, right next to my, conjunct my sun. As a Pisces, 28 degrees, so it's right on the cusp of Aries, and I am one of the astrologers that believes in cusps. I have videos about that. I just don't see how we can go from one energy. It doesn't just go from one energy to the next, just like boom. Like when we're like the tub doesn't go from full to empty. There's a process, right? The moon doesn't go from full to new. There's a process, and that's kind of how I see cusps. But anyways, I only really observe them in sun signs, so I don't really, I don't like talk about them that much. And I'm open to, I'm open to arguments. I don't really like prioritize them in readings and stuff, just because there is so much debate about them. And I can see both sides. But anyways, okay. So with the Pisces part, and this is, by the way, I'm doing this so this is an exercise everyone can do. Pisces, I'm horrible at responding to messages. I am I am someone who has a lot of trouble sticking to plans. Like extreme amount of trouble. A flake. I'm a flake. I'm someone who is I'm not a bad friend, but I'm not someone you can count on. And I'm someone you can count on in terms of the most important stuff, like trust, loyalty, all that. But in terms of like physically, like that I'm like, let's say like I was just talking to my friend who I said we would do like an IG live like weeks ago, and I realized like, man, I make a lot, and that's the Mercury, and that's a square with Jupiter too, right? So you look at the aspects. I promise too much a lot of times, right? I promise more than I can deliver, and it's Pisces do that, and there's also a lot of escapism in Pisces. I have to admit it, that I like to escape into my imaginary world. And that's a perfect segue into the Aquarius, Venus, and Mars, which if you have your Venus and Mars in the same sign, that becomes a very, very important sign. One could say that even though it's not in my big three, it basically it's a big four. It's in the same. Venus and Mars are two massively important planets. So that Aquarius side of me is a little bit kind of with the Leo stuff. It can be a little bit selfish in the sense of, I mean, I don't really think it's a bad thing. It's more of just like a good a thing of understanding of how I am. But just the amount of space needed is ridiculous. And being a Pisces, it just makes it even more crazy. And the amount of freedom. So that's kind of some of the shadow side with the Aquarius, and also just not really expressing emotions. Like that's another part, like shadow with the Aquarius energy. Like not saying I love you very often to people I love. Which one could easily say, okay, that's like, generational trauma, whatever, but it's also, placements. Aquarius, is a very cool energy. Also, I'm not going to talk about anything, like X-rated. So how can I phrase this? But okay, let's say that like, Aquarius, Mars, Venus in intimate situations, there can be a certain coolness that if looked at wrong can be looked at as not caring, and we all know how many, like if you look at like the biggest celebrities, like men who are just like playboys being with lots of women, so many of them are fucking Aquarius, like suns, and it's just a sign that's very easily that can detach very easily. So understanding that shadow is also really important. So you see, it's like this is an exercise. I've done this before. So like I'm giving you guys an example so you can do this for yourself with all of your primal energies. I'm telling you which ones to do, right? With all of your main astrological energies. So then we have the moon, of course, in Sag, and something I had to work through a lot, and many Sag moons agree, is this like it's a fire sign. So fire, the fire within, and a Leo rising, very, very fiery person. It creates that it can create, and it has, and I got way better at this dogmatism where it's almost like I spend so much time learning, I spent so much time acquiring wisdom and truth, which is what Sag Moon is all about, traveling to different cultures, like experiencing, like talking to people like from different worldviews. Like I have friends from like not every country, but like I have no idea how many countries I have friends from. It's a lot, it's probably, I have no idea. And there's such small countries, like little islands that are countries. So the point is, like, that's all great and everything, but the thing that gets me in my Sag Moon is that you need to like let's say like trying to push my beliefs on other people. And I used to do it a lot, especially when I first got into astrology. And a lot of Sag Moon people have to kind of like realize that, everyone has their own time when they're meant to in their own way of finding God, or of finding spirituality, or whatever it is. Not everyone's meant for it, right? So like that is a big thing as a Sag Moon. Also I would say I'm very open-minded, and I'm very open to being wrong and like learning, because I don't have insecurities about my intelligence or about my knowledge. And for me, like, wisdom is I don't want to defend something that's incorrect. I don't want to I don't connect myself with what I know. It's not me. I'm trying to think what else for Sag, what other shadow shows up. I guess just like also escapism, like Sag is the partier sign, and just which I've managed. I used to be like a hardcore partier. If you guys have been following me for a while, or have read this baby, available on Amazon, Pisces Live 9 Lives. It's not an astrology book. It's a very interesting book with lots of different topics. Just being overly, especially with the Sun square Jupiter and Mercury square Jupiter already in a Pisces Sun, it's like being overly expansive, overly risk-taking, it's definitely fun. Going overboard with like the drinking back in the day. I don't really drink that. Like I rarely drink. I drank twice this year, and it's like that the year before. It's just kind of how it is for me now. I don't really like fuck with alcohol like I used to. I don't know. Like I'll drink for festivals. That's kind of it. I'm just not really. I'm more focused on this. So what I'm doing for you guys, and the alcohol really can screw with me in a lot of ways. So then finally, the Mercury, it's kind of the same as the Pisces with the Sun. It's just like Pisces Mercury square Jupiter, like promising too much stuff that I can't, the whole thing with messages, right? Like it's just such an issue. I see it as an issue because I want to be really, really authentic. I don't want to come off as like someone, which I don't come off that way, but I don't want to like be like one of these people that once they get big, just like starts changing. And of course it gets very hard. It just gets very hard to answer all the messages, but I still do, eventually I answer every message. To this point, maybe I won't be able to do that in the future. I don't know. Who the fuck knows? I think I will at some point not be able to do that unless my life goes a direction that I don't know, would not make me happy, and would not make this little kitty Esme happy if her daddy didn't achieve his dreams, right, Esme? So yeah, that's kind of that. And then also you have to look at Black Moon Lilith. I know this wasn't really about that. With the Mercury and Pisces also, there's the tendency to be a little bit vague in my communication. I do have a nice sextile with Saturn, which helps a lot, but there is that, and it is a Cazimi with the Sun. So actually I kind of get exempt from that because the Cazimi with the Sun and Mercury makes the Mercury like a superpower. So, but yeah, sometimes I do have to watch out so I don't really get like many of the negative effects of Mercury and Pisces. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. It's actually like I can't really think of anything that bad about my Mercury and Pisces besides the square of Jupiter and the overpromising. So then, yeah, you just keep going down the chart and you think, okay, like how does this lead to growth? And this is what in the counseling process with clients, this is one of the things I do. You can break it into parts, right? Like you can break like do parts work in psychology where you have conflicting parts within yourself. You can use the astrology to make part 1, part 2, part 3. You can name them. For me, it's like the fire part, and the Pisces part, right? The Sag, Leo, Aquarius, just air, but it's masculine, and then the Pisces, which is more feminine, right? But I'm way, way more masculine. Like my energy is like way more masculine than feminine. The only feminine thing is the Pisces, and no Earth, right? So yeah, that's kind of like what I'm trying to say. And then Black Moon Lilith, obviously, I need to add that in there. I wasn't planning on that because Black Moon Lilith is so important because it really can tell us a lot about like where, or any planets in the 12th house, but like where we screw ourselves over, and like kind of like how we show up when we're at our worst. And for me, man, have I seen it. Conjunct Pluto in Scorpio, and that just speaks to literally like when I'm in a low vibe, it's like I don't know if I've ever seen someone more Scorpio or like capable, like that sounds like violent. Basically, it's like everything you associate with Scorpio. The person like on a psychological level you just do not want to fuck with, knows exactly what to say to just destroy someone. And it's conjunct Pluto because that Pluto makes everything more intense. So imagine that, right? So I've had to really like if I very rarely lose my cool. I haven't lost my cool in a really long time. Like literally, I'm not just saying that like because when I do, that happens, and then the Sag moon comes out. But just imagine Black Moon Lilith conjunct Pluto square the nodes. It's like a fucking very good sexual energy, but it's also like a murderer's energy. Or just like it's such intense, just like psychological, just ugh. And I don't repress it, but it's just like I see it as an energy that like manipulation, deceiving, like stuff like that, which I don't do, but like. You have to watch out for the Black Moon Lilith sign. So anyways, I hope this video was helpful. I know I talked about myself, but the whole point was to give you an example of how you can do this for yourself. Let me know in the comments what you think, and let me know if you have any ideas for any other videos. And yeah, I'm very curious to see comments of people and their reactions and what they thought. Okay, bye.